couple times because his learned experience in his life is that he thinks really quickly and things come in and out of his sort of consciousness and he moves on. I mean, he's a little person. I mean, this is not unusual for his age necessarily, but his particular sort of neurological wiring, I believe we want to coach him to slow down a little bit and do some of that recall. Work the words before and after in the context of that weekend. You know, don't do it on Monday and Tuesday. Don't do it at the end of the week. But you haven't seen him, I'm assuming, on the weekend, right?
Right.
So I want you to explore that with him, have him do that recall. Because accessing, what you're doing is you're stimulating that access to memory and pulling out information and verbalization of that information. And he needs practice doing that more consistently. And it's in, again, within this idea of anchoring the concepts, the executive function concepts, before, after, time, all of that. So he's now having to think, what I'm asking of him when he remembers something on the Saturday or Sunday a couple days ago is, okay, first of all, that was the past. And to somebody his age, that feels like a long time ago. It's almost as if it's months ago, not a year, but, you know, it's a long time. Just because he passes through in present time and he goes, he's like a little person jumping from lily pad to lily pad. It's not, he's not necessarily noticing as much detail and content with the idea of anchoring it in his memory to be able to then pull it out, because he's not required to do that. But for him, he needs practice doing that, just again, because of executive function processing. So we want to start working it now based on real life experience, not what did you remember from what you read or something. We're working up to that. And the reason for this going and accessing memory and pulling it out is because we need him to practice neurologically doing that.
And by saying find your hands on your shoulders and take a deep breath, those are the ways to help him.
That's to anchor him to because when he goes to remember something or access the memory banks, his experience a lot of the time is he's blank, and so then his brain starts spinning, or whatever word you want to use, but he's sort of in a dynamic sort of it's kind of like a startle reflex, and we want to interrupt that reflex, to teach him to calm his system so that he can access memory, learn to access it more efficiently. Right now, he doesn't access memory particularly efficiently at all, for any number of things, not just in this context. But for somebody his age, it's best, in my opinion, to anchor that sort of recall experience based on what he actually did, what he lived. It's easier to sort of work those neurological pathways in that way. You know, we want him to move into doing that with what he's reading, or what are the math facts and so forth. But that's, that goes into abstract thinking as opposed to concrete, which is what did you do, And right now we're just trying to get him to settle. The exercise here is noticing that his mind is spinning, that he's blank, and what does he do about that? The coaching you're giving him is, okay, take a breath, settle yourself, reorient yourself, see if it comes into focus. And it did for him. You saw it happen. It's like he stopped, he took a couple breaths, and yeah, that's right. You want to breathe, you want to move your diaphragm. Actually, with the body, the diaphragm is this thing that it moves down kind of towards the top of your legs. It's kind of this interesting thing. All right, now, so I can't get over the fact that you walked that far. Is that like a fundraiser for the school or something?
Mm-hmm.
Did you make money for the school?
Yeah.
bet you made a lot of money for the school. How much did you make per mile?